What's up, guys? Fantasy Captain. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the opponent's running back handcuff stashing strategy. You pretty much want to take your opponent's handcuff, so in case anything happens to him, you won't have to rely on waivers. You already have them. You'll be set, and the swing of them losing their player, then you gaining them is just, it's great, and it can win leagues. It's not just anybody, not just any backup or any handcuff you want to target. There's only a few that I think that would legit be game changers and can help win your league. And every year there's certain ones that happen because running backs, they get injured like crazy. So you want to go after just the most young, talented ones that are buried on the depth chart that would just explode if they had an injury to help them out, or they just win more playing time, coaching change, or they change on the depth chart, or a trade can happen that can open up a window. You just want to target the most talented guy, like most talented backup running backs that will have like a future. Last year, for example, Kareem Hunt, we all knew he was a talented rookie, but it took Spencer Ware's injury to really open up, and he just exploded. And another one is just like when Kamara exploded after AP was traded. He just got so much more playing time, and he got more and more as the season went on. Like I said, running backs get injured so often. Like, we already had guys go down, McKinnon this year, Ajayi, Fournette, Dalvin Cook's been hurt. Deonte Foreman just went on the IR for he's gonna have groin surgery. He's had like 1,000 different injuries this year. Mixon was out for a couple games, and then Le'Veon Bell, with the holdout. It's just a bunch of opportunities for the backup running backs that have already been effective this year. I'm talking like Breida, TJ Yeldon, Clement, Edo Smith's getting some. Hines, which now is kind of leaning towards Mac. He looked pretty good in his return, and he looks like he's the number one, and Hines will be the PPR back. Stupid Lindsey, that's one of the coaching decisions. He's getting more playing time. He just ruined Royce Freeman for me and a lot of other fantasy players. He came out of nowhere. Nobody even heard of this guy. I've never heard of him until week one. I'm watching. I'm like, this. I mean, he looked good. He probably deserves the playing time he's getting. It's just, it kind of sucks for people that invested so highly in Royce. Try to hold on to Royce. It can be a little tempting and frustrating. You want to drop him, but he's got a great schedule coming up. And, he's still their goal line guy. And if an injury happened to Lindsey, he will be an amazing asset to have on your team. So just be patient with him. Let's see. And the guys I'm talking about to pick up and stash, not like an Alfred Blue. Like, because, somebody with limited upside. You want, if you're going to use a roster spot as a stash, you want somebody with some real talent and upside that can win the league. Like I said, like a Kareem Hunt last year. Number one is a guy that's 70% owned in Yahoo leagues, which is pretty high. So he might not even be on this, shouldn't be on this list, but there's still 30% of leagues without him. So Austin Ekeler from the LA Chargers, like, this guy is a beast. I don't know how he's still 30% unowned. He's available. Let's see, this year he's averaging 6.4 yards a carry. No rushing touchdowns, but he has 3 receiving touchdowns so far. And just in the limited opportunities he's had, he's scoring great fantasy flex points right now. in my eyes, he's the best handcuff. If he's available in those 30% of leagues, just check on your waiver wire, see if he's available, because he would be the ideal. If anything happened to Gordon, he'll win you a championship. This guy is that good. Number 2, I'm gonna go with the rookie Nick Chubb for Cleveland. You know, Carlos Hyde, I think he's gonna get maybe a little less and less touches as the year goes on, and they know this guy is talented. They want to get him involved. Let's see. This year he's got 2 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging 10.8 a carry, which is crazy. He's only had 16 attempts. Come on, 3 carries a game. Get the hell out of here. They need to get this guy involved. Carlos Hyde, he's talented too, but you know, when he was with the Niners, he was always injury prone. You know, he could get hurt. Nick Chubb would be another championship winner if you can find a way to stash him. I know it's not hard to. I mean, it's not easy to drop somebody on your bench, but this guy, you know, you want guys with upside. You don't want guys just to be okay. All right, another guy is Ito Smith. He's already getting opportunities because Deonte Foreman's been hurt. He's been hurt all year. He played like 2 games, and Ito Smith's his carries. He's just getting more involved. Last week I think he had 10 or 11 carries. I think he had one more than Tevin Coleman did. He's scored touchdowns in 3 straight games, and Tevin Coleman hasn't been looking too great. He had one really good game, hit over 100 yards and I think a touchdown. But Ito Smith, I just picked him up on. I just claimed him tonight, but he's only owned in 14% of Yahoo leagues. Like, now you guys need to really pick him up. Ito Smith is gonna be a beast because, you know, Deonte Foreman's on the IR, so he'll be out till week 15, and you can use Ito Smith. You can probably flex him, until then. Another one is Ronald Jones. I lowered him a little bit on my candidates to break out a little bit because, he is very talented and there's good things and bad things to say about him. This week, one of my least favorite things, which I mentioned in my last video, is his lack of pass catching ability, but he caught all 3 of his targets this past week. He only had 1 rush though, which was the killer. We really thought there's a lot of talk about him maybe starting and just taking over the backfield from Peyton Barber, but Atlanta's defense was so crappy against the run. Peyton Barber looked good, which is fine. Peyton Barber looked good, but it just kind of killed the buzz a little bit for the Ronald Jones breakout. But hey, Peyton Barber, if he got hurt, so it's more of an injury stash now than maybe he's going to take over because he's more talented, which is still a possibility, but he's more of a handcuff now at this point. But if he ever does get the chance, I still believe in Ronald Jones. He's really a talent. So, be a little patient with him, like I said. Deonte Foreman, I'm not sure. But he's another guy over with the Texans that, he looked pretty decent last year. This is his 2nd year, and he had the ACL late last season. But Lamar Miller has not looked great this year. Honestly, it's their offensive line is really tore up. But it's still a good offense, I think. Deshaun Watson is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I loved him last year. This year, he got off to a little bit slower start, but he's still productive, being very productive. It's just a good offense. And if Foreman can he's not going to be back. I don't think he'll be back till week like 8 or 9. He's probably still a couple weeks away, but he's still a good guy that you can stash. You probably can wait another week to pick him up though. Just stash him because he'll have some good opportunities, goal lines probably, and I think he'll be the bell cow, and he'll probably have blue maybe, getting touches here and there. Let's see. Another one I just want to mention is Giovanni Bernard. We all know when Mixon got hurt, he came in and he was a beast. Let me see. He scored 2 touchdowns. Against Atlanta, he has 69 rushing yards, 4.6 average for 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 27 yards. He's more than capable, and he's plenty of value if you want to, especially for Mixon owners. He's a really good handcuff to hold, to have. I had Mixon, and when he went out, the waiver priority, you don't want to rely on that. Somebody else picked him up and started him, and he ended up winning that week. You don't want to rely on the waivers. The whole point of this stash and handcuff strategy is he's already on your bench, so you don't have to worry about that. If you can afford it. If you're losing later on, you can't really afford to stash anybody. One guy that I thought was going to be a great stash this year, and he's going to be a league winner. You don't get them all right, but Rashad Penny, man. And you know what? I think it's more of Seattle than anything else. I don't know what Pete Carroll's doing, but I don't think he knows what he's doing. They drafted this guy in the first round, and last week he finally got some touches though. I don't have his stats right here, but he looked a little better last week. But it's like you never know what's going to happen with that backfield and with that team. I figure the second half of the season is going to be a little more Russell Wilson anyways. He's a lot stronger in the second half of the year. At least he was last year. But Rashad Penny's been very disappointing. Just maybe not give up on him, but just keep him in the back of your mind. If somebody gets hurt on that team. But yeah, those are the running backs that you should keep in mind. Pick whichever one up that you believe in the most, and keep them on your bench. And when their opportunities come, they can win you your leagues. All right, man. Thanks for watching.